No, I like to.
Hey, this is Charlie.
This is JR.
Host of Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. Broadcasting live each week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios.
Log on to hear us speaking the facts on current events, family, and finances.
So be sure to log on each week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. to catch Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR.
Tune in.
Right now, but
What's up, family? This is, we are back. This is, he's like, shh. I had to laugh. This is Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. And of course, I am JR. And my lovely daughter and co-host, Charlie, is over on the other end. What's up, Charlie?
Hey, Dad.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I am above ground, baby, so it's a good day. No complaints.
No
so
complaints.
you becoming a traveling woman again, huh?
Yes. I take off tomorrow. Start off in Houston, and then when I come back to Dallas, and I'm be headed to Seattle. So
back in the streets. Okay.
back, exactly.
Living your best life. I love it.
The friendly skies.
If you could see her suitcase, it'd have all them little stickers on it. You know,
Yeah.
you know how the suitcases have.
Did you unpack from the last trip?
I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. The laundry and everything. But the sad part is that I think it's going to be like 50, maybe 55. That it's going to be the high there in Seattle, and the low is 39. So I'm in a different mode, you know. Like I'm in, warmer weather mode. So all my winter clothes are clean.
Well,
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the.
Well, you about to become Chilly Charlie, huh?
Yes. Exactly.
Let me go ahead and get the housekeeping out the way, y'all. We are Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR is brought to you by
Kiss Wealth Now. You representing that? Yes.
Kiss Wealth Now. Well, Kiss Wealth Now, although it is .com. Of course it is.
Yes, it is.
Handling not some, not half, but all of your commercial and residential real estate needs. Charlie, tell them how to get
to Kiss Wealth Now. So you can get to Kiss Wealth Now. You can call me 214-738-4913, and you can always go to my website 24/7, where we are available to help you. And I just want to say now the rates are the lowest they've been in 3 years. So
we need to discuss my rate actually.
Well, your rate, but your rate's pretty good. But the rates have gone down. So if y'all are thinking about it, you need to buy a house. You got 3 professionals right here. They're all in the industry.
Absolutely.
Loan officer, real estate agent. So, phone number. You can tell me.
Well, I would say I am a Latrice, a Kimmy Watkins. I am a matchmaker here in the DFW area. I will help you find a house until you fall in love with one. And my motto is where you live is my business. If you want to contact me, it's 214-680-3341, or catch me on Facebook at A Latrice.
A Latrice.
And for myself, it's Sebastian Phoenix. You can call me Chef Bash. You can reach me at 469-403-1672.
And they call you a Zaddy too, right?
Uh-oh.
A Zaddy too?
Zaddy? What's the list? What's the list? Chef. So, I be eating.
What's a Zaddy?
You?
No, see.
I'm with you on this one. I'm waiting.
Shit, we ain't moving forward.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Kim, give us a definition.
Slang for an attractive, stylish, and charismatic man, typically older, who suits comfort.
I'll be a Zaddy.
You take that.
You take that, Alex. You take that, Alex, for 1,000.
No, this is why I got called OG and caught me by surprise.
I'm just saying. Wait. Can I be part of that club too? Can I?
Absolutely.
You can be a Zaddy.
Remember.
So what do they call older women?
Beautiful.
That's
Hey, wait.
You say auntie?
That was good.
I've crossed over to the auntie lane.
Yeah, we are
I'm officially
aunties. Yes.
Like, what the blue boys say, hey, auntie.
Yep, we are aunties. Yes.
Call them honey.
Well, once you get to Pawpaw, you kind of stop right there. The great grandchildren still call me Pawpaw.
I had my cougar sweatshirt on earlier today.
Well, you know what? I think last year, was say, oh, you're a cougar. I said, well, what age you become a cougar?
Right.
Well, that's a good question. Kim, what age do you become a cougar? So our producer.
40 plus.
Oh,
okay.
I guess everybody over here is.
or sexual relationships with
With significantly.
younger men.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
got a clue.
I ain't gonna
So I guess everybody on here got a little growl, huh?
Well, no,
not me.
no,
I don't do the babies.
yeah.
They
No, I
just became
can't.
lioness, did they?
Yeah, nah. I think one of my fears,
Forget that cougar.
because I think that some gentlemen find me to be a bit younger than they really think I am.
Yeah.
And I think I have a fear, that let's just say I find somebody who's a little young or whatever, and it's like, okay, we're good. And I bring him home. I have boys. And they be like,
They
what's
gonna
up,
eat- they
dude?
gonna-
What's
they
up,
gonna eat-
man?
they
What's
gonna
up,
eat-
man?
Why you here?
Yeah, let me tell you.
I just brought out.
Your boys, my son Trey, no, they would eat them.
Do you hear me?
Eat the, yeah.
The man. It won't even work. So that's a fear. I'm like, oh no. If they be like best friends, buddies, and just been to school together, I just die.
That's just not.
Like how
Well,
they
see,
conversation
well,
go, right?
I have that problem too, because I've been told by senior daughter and daughter over here that I have an age limit that I can bring home.
Oh yes, you must definitely do.
So,
Yes.
what's my age limit, y'all?
How many people we didn't turn down for him? He don't even know.
I know, yeah. They cannot be below
he
50.
married.
Yeah, yeah. You cannot be below 50. No.
Hey, well, see,
We have done
Sebastian,
that.
See, I don't
We
even
have
know.
done- you don't.
See, the secrets have leaked.
My bad. I'm just playing. Yeah, we
You
were
think-
trying to
see-
save
Oh,
you.
see,
Well,
look at
I've
your
been-
other daughter said 55
Well, I've been told
and
they
up.
got to be 55 and up. Okay.
So at least I know that, you know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got some
'cause-
consultants that can
Yeah, yeah.
fix that
Because if
situation
dad,
for me.
if dad show up
Before
with
they start.
anybody 40 or 30 years old, they gonna have.
Well, I know Kim was serious. Kim said if you show up with somebody younger than the approved age, I'm gonna say, okay, you got my daddy. Where your daddy?
She's
at?
not gonna have a good
See?
She's not gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be them jokes all night long.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Daddy,
yeah.
and she gonna be my.
So,
Sit down. So what is too young?
what? Too young for me? If they don't make no sense.
So this might not be.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If they don't make no sense, then they're too young for me. But let me go ahead and move into our conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do need to go ahead and acknowledge the SpeakNFacts crew, our alter egos. I am. We are the Fly Guy and the Fly Girls, and
That's right.
and I am, of course, don't call it a comeback because I've been fly.
That's right. That's right. He just
And
stay there.
we got Fly Money.
There we go.
Over
We got the
there.
money.
And in the back, we got the third member of the SpeakNFacts crew, our producer, Kim, aka This Is Fly.
Yeah.
What's up, Kim?
Kim.
Oh, y'all heard her. She's back there. And we got Taylor over there on the knobs and faders that came in off the switch. What's up, Taylor?
Hey.
Oh, she's a little quiet today. Hey.
She's so sweet.
So we asked Akemi and Sebastian to come back so we can discuss gender wars. Now, so we can keep discussing gender wars. After a discussion with a friend of my daughter's yesterday, let me preface our conversation by saying that it is our intention to help. It is our intention for us not to have gender wars.
Yes.
We are not just discussing this so that we can sit up here and talk.
Right.
Because all of us got something to say. But
Right.
we actually would like to delve into why this is happening so we can keep it from happening.
Because people are definitely passionate about it. I
Yes,
mean,
they are.
there's different.
Where did the title come from? Where did the title come
Well,
from?
it's just something that people have talked about, but I would like to start off the conversation with the gender wars with some I'm the nerd, right? I'm always going and reading and delving in, and so I do want to say that with the platform of the podcast, and it really is the black. I want to say black people. You don't really see other races, because I did go do some research, and you really don't see other platforms talking so heavily about it. And then I took it a step further, and I said, since black men and black women are having these conversations, well, let's go ahead and see where the birth rates are at. So the numbers are not out for 2025, but from 2023 to 2024, there was 3,630,000 children born. Okay. And so that meant that the average woman, right, there would be 1.6 children per person who is eligible to have a kid, right? So then let's take it down another step. So then out of the white, black, and Hispanic, so the birth rate for the Anglo community slightly, it pretty much remained unchanged. Okay, it was a slight decline, but not much to mention. The black race had a 4% decline birth rate. So we are dropping drastically, and we are forecasted to continually to decline. And then the Hispanic community had a 2% increase. So the Hispanic woman actually has had 27% of the 3,630,000 children that are here.
Right.
27%. So they're the largest per capita. So that means that we've got to figure out why our birth rates are declining. So is it because, again, in these conversations, it is men against women. So are we taking it to heart, or is it because unfortunately, going back to that conversation in 1960 that I was talking about, where the black male said, hey, the black woman, I feel like, that we're being castrated because the black woman is becoming educated at that time, right? And that trend has not stopped, right? So what is it? Is it because, and I'm just asking the question, is it because black women are quote unquote more educated or more savvy? I hate to use the word educated because you can be smart and not have a degree. So I don't ever want to take away from someone who feels that they are smart and feel like they are elevated and doing things in life. But why is it that our birth rate is continually on the decline? We should be increasing.
You want to grab that one first, Bass, so we can just come this way?
I do not. I think a woman should go first.
Well, I mean, when you're saying that, what I'm sitting and I'm thinking is, I know that you're using the word educated as a preference for a lane, right? I don't know if it's just education or if it's becoming to where we are, and I don't like this term, I'm going to give a disclaimer on it, where women are becoming more independent to where, right. And whoever put me on that list, please take me off, remove me from the independent list. I want to be dependent, by the way. But I believe that they're becoming more independent, and I think that's just my opinion when it comes to the African American man and the African American woman. I think our men don't feel needed. You know what I mean? And so when they don't feel needed, and a lot of women say they don't need a man.
Right.
And I understand that part, not needing. I would rather want than need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? However, when a person doesn't feel needed, they're not going to continue to do the things to chase you either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then our kids are ending up on the sheets. I'm just teasing. That was the joke.
Right. I think the song says the couch, but I'm just saying. You are terrible.
I agree with what you said, Kimmy. I think that there's two kind of dueling factors. And I think one is the fact that just the fact that young people have had a chance to see what we've gone through raising our kids. And they're like, hell no, I won't go.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And we didn't give them, and I can speak for me as a woman, I love my children. I was put in a circumstance that I didn't ask to be in. However, if I could have chosen differently, I would have never wanted my boys to see a woman do the things that I've done in a household, because I think all it's going to do is repeat itself. If they see a woman have to do this, I feel like they don't have to step up and do anything. Mama did it, so I know you can do it. And then it's going to go on to his son. Well, daddy didn't have to do it because mama did everything,
Right.
And that's, to me, that's not the way it should be. And that's why I mentioned, the independent. A lot of women say, I want to be independent, but do you really? Because how do you want to be independent? You're still asking for everything. Right. If you had, and then too, it goes back to a lot of the foundation we didn't have also. You know what I'm saying? When we was little, we took the classes, the etiquette classes and things like that, how to do the forks and the knives and wear the white gloves and the dresses, how to sit like a lady, how to act like a lady, how to, and I know this sounds beneath some people, but how to, be seen and not heard, how to just be a lady, cross your ankles, cross your legs, I don't think we have a lot of those things anymore to where it puts you in a space of being a lady.
Yeah. So,
Well, now.
okay, now he's ready.
Yeah, I'm not disappointed in the statistics.
Okay.
And the reason I'm not, I'm kind of happy to hear that it appears that young black Americans are realizing it's not cheap to have a baby. And why bring this child into the world for the rest of us to support it
right.
until they are prepared, even if that means because we've taught our daughters to be more educated so they can prepare to, so we're helping them to become more independent. And the reason you're at school is so you can find you a mister, because you would like for him to meet you midway. I tell my sons, there's 3 women you're going to meet in life.
Listen, I can't wait to hear these categories.
Right.
You're going to meet the pull-up.
Okay.
You're going to meet the crossover. And you're going to meet the one that's going to put the hand-me-down, I'm sorry. Hand-me-down, crossover, and the pull-up. I want them to meet all 3 women.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The hand-me-down woman is there because she know you got it better than her. So she's just there to get what she can get.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you to describe all 3 for those who might not.
The crossover young lady is probably equivalent to you, went to school with you, same type of parents that you have, probably the same Christianity or religion that you have, crossover. And the pull-up woman is the woman who's already successful and needs to acknowledge that you're not intimidated by her success because you're going to be successful as well, and together y'all going to make a dynamic team. I want them to meet all 3 because until they meet all 3,
Right.
you're gonna
They
meet
don't
the
know
wrong
which one's for them.
You don't know which one's for you. It's
Right.
not the one that's for your mama.
Right.
It's not the one that's for your dad. But it's for you. But you gotta meet all 3. I'm
'Cause
not
you learn
scared.
about yourself when you learn
Yeah.
when you date. You really learn more about yourself than you think. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
So like you said, I agree with that. You know, in a way, I didn't put it that way to my boys. You know, I'm a different type mother. But I told my boys when they were younger, date 3 women, sleep with 1, but don't lie to none of them.
Right.
There you go. There you go. And that's for me, being the elder statesman of the group. See, I'm gonna hit and got the old.
Yeah, you got
joke
the
in
old
there.
joke out there. Yeah, yes. As the elder.
Like you guys about 20 or something.
Right.
But for me, being the elder statesman, it seems to me that and I don't. And let me preface what I'm about to say by saying that the wonderful thing about being a human being is that you have choice. And
Yes.
the wonderful thing about being an empowered human being is that I realize that I don't have to stand in judgment for any decision you make. When I stand before God, I'm gonna stand there alone. Ain't nobody gonna be there with me. And when you stand there, you gonna stand there alone. So I'm not anybody's judge, and that allows me to have peace, because I can see you for who you want to be seen as, rather than seeing you for who I say you are. Okay. Now, having said that, it seems to me that because men and women to me are the yin and yang of a whole. We are 2 halves of a whole. And it seems to me that men don't want to be the half that they were built to be, and some women don't want to be the half that they were built to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't
That's
breastfeed a
understandable.
child. No matter how effeminate I try to be, there's some things that I can't do because I'm a man.
Right.
There's some things you can't do because you are a woman. But we
Right.
are built to bridge that gap with each other.
Right.
But if I don't want to be what I'm supposed to be, then that seems like, to me, that's a contributor to the gender war.
Absolutely. I
Right.
mean, it's like a puzzle. If you take a puzzle and let's say a puzzle has 50 pieces, you could take one piece and try to make it fit.
Yeah.
And there's some
Jeez,
pieces,
it-
but not even without doing any work on it. You could take a piece and try to put it there, and it won't go. You could take another piece and try to fit it there, and it might bend, and might mold, it might just a little bit squeeze it in there, but it still is not perfect and
Right.
it doesn't work. A man and a woman is supposed to fit.
Yeah.
You may not agree on everything or not, but they just fit. You know what I mean?
But I think the issue now, though, is that people are not looking to work to make it fit. They've gotten complacent with self, right? So in going back to the independent, so for some people, I've heard it on several different, when I was doing my research, but for some people, they felt like to be in a relationship with a man is like almost a punishment.
Degrading.
An undertaking, I'm punishing this is what,
Well, I would see that both. I mean, I don't agree with that.
I don't either,
But
but you have people, it's like, okay,
can
well,
kinda
I'm at
see-
peace with myself, so why do I need? And then the next piece to that is there are apparatuses that you can use to satisfy.
But if
that-
you're in a relationship based off of just the
Yes,
physical,
yes,
if the physical is the basis of a relationship, it's an empty relationship anyways, because the
Yeah.
physical should be a cherry on top.
It's
You know what I
icing.
mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
or
icing. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
icing, because if you're going, I mean, for one,
not the cake.
I look at it. How do you interview for that position? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? How many people you interview to say, okay, this is one, but then it could be a crappy relationship. I look at it too is. We're so looking at the opposite sex to see where the problem is, but the problem really just might be us.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So I was gonna, that's what I was going to ask. Because
It
the
might be
women,
it.
and I'm with you, and we might get some women who be like, but yeah, I mean, I think that we've gotten complacent and we really knocked out. We need men for so many things, and and this probably goes to the next level of, the Me Too movement, feminism. There's a whole nother level of this, and I think I think you have something you want to say, because you were like, no.
No, I'm listening.
You
'Cause
listening?
all the movements are kind of confusing me.
Yeah, so you was a Me Too,
I lost track after Gen Z. I kind of quit counting.
But that being said, and we talked about this the last time we had a conversation that, women are like, I can do it too. So then the men are like, well, if you can do it, then go ahead and do it. And so
I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna let everybody go out there.
She said that several times.
I don't
Like,
wanna do it.
Independence is a good thing, but I don't necessarily want to be
Take me
totally
off the
independent.
list.
Yeah.
But I don't think it, being serious though, I don't think it was meant that way. Because I think that's where, I mean, of course, there's a lot of other issues, especially African Americans have in the household, that's besides us. But once you are with someone, how do you operate in that space? Because I'm just be honest with me, because I have been single for so long, I do struggle with that. I struggle with want to, you know what I mean? Do I want to wake up to somebody every day? You know what I'm saying? But I do want somebody to change my tire.
Right.
But being seriously, because you just don't stop laughing at me. But I'm being very, very transparent and very honest. I want those things, and I know what it feels like to be in a good marriage. I know what it feels like to be loved. I know what it feels like to be adored and to be honored and respected and heard. I know those things. So when things come a little short of what I was accustomed to, it's hard to see the whole big picture. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they're not the same, but all I know is to compare, because that's all I know, right?
I think I'm having that issue right now, actually. I think I'm having the issue of reflecting back on my relationship with Nora. I think I'm having that issue because there were some things that she did that would just, as the Cowboys they would say, that would just chap my hide. But looking at it full circle, there were, there haven't been many women in my life that I enjoy taking walks with, or that I enjoy just doing little things with. Just watching a movie with, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Just little things, and so now that I have had that, I'm.
It's hard to unsee what you saw,
it's
right?
hard to you can't really unsee what you've seen.
Yeah.
I might be a bit impatient. I'm asking myself now if I'm being a bit impatient, because it's like if they show. If a woman shows the slightest bit of impatience, especially early on, I'm kind of like, well, because and that's the other thing is that when it comes to men and women, I'm not going to, and this is just me, and I guess that's the problem of perception, but I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time, engaging in conversation with you unless I see you as someone that is, and forgive me because I can't think of a better word. That's just, I'm not being uppity, but if I don't see you someone that is queenly, because I think I'm kingly. So if I don't see you as queenly, then I really don't have a reason to go too far down that
Conversation.
that
Don't have
road.
to waste
Yeah.
of time. I mean, I would agree about the waste of time, but I will say, the older I get, because I do a lot of self-reflection. This is one of my therapists right here. Because
we
I
on
should
the
be like,
phone,
no,
we'll be
you was
like-
wrong. No. But I do a lot of self-reflection because I do feel like, like my prayer every day is to be a better me today than I was yesterday.
Mine too.
I want to be able to serve, and I want to be in love, but I also want somebody to love me too. And I want to be in that space, because I don't think we were made to be alone for the rest of your life,
Right.
And the age that I'm at now, I do look at that, 2-3 years ago, they'll tell you I didn't want it. No.
You're
remember.
fired.
But
I didn't say it. Well, I probably would say it.
but to agree with what you guys are
But-
saying, I think God has a sense of humor.
Well, he has to.
Yes.
And the reason I say that, because I think we make sex greater than it is. But he has such a sense of humor. He gave me my sex drive when I was young, but the women my age didn't have the same drive.
Right.
But when I got older, I didn't have the same drive,
Right.
but the women my age had.
Right, yeah.
And so he was looking down laughing
Right.
because he knew I don't want them to think that it's all about the package.
Right.
That it's
yeah.
all about
Well,
sex.
there's that word again.
Yeah, yeah.
But
right.
he meant it differently, but I knew what you meant.
Yeah, yeah.
The package.
Well, I heard it a while ago. I'm just borrowing it.
Well, the package they talking about is different than what you
Is
just
it?
said. Yes, it's
Do
just
share.
different.
Well, there's a well. Wait a
Not
minute,
today,
y'all.
you young
there's-
grasshopper. You don't have to learn on a different show. No.
That was an
I'll
understatement.
just say there's the total package and then there's the package.
Oh,
so
really?
So you should have
yeah.
said total package.
Yeah, total
So
package
just
and
said
then
that totally messed it up.
I mean, maybe not. It could have been what you really meant.
No, I don't
know.
But
But let him finish.
Okay.
The sex is well, maybe I'm wrong. But basically, the relationship has to be built off of. I mean, to be honest, in my opinion, friendship. Just start there.
Absolutely.
Become someone's friend and have a foundation built on friendship.
But we often miss that, though.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
and we was talking about this. I think when it comes to friendship,
I've got to hear what
in
you
a
got to
spouse-
say. 'Cause
oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Go
just
ahead.
saying. No, go ahead. But I'm saying
we,
when
we,
you're done.
we often.
If there was a bullshit button here, I would press it.
I think when I say we often miss that, I think when people get into relationships, they get into it because I like you, you like me, we're good, everything's going well. But as far as the friendship aspect of it, did you get to know somebody long enough, whatever your number is, to be friends? Like her and I, and some others, we've been friends with 18 something years.
Yes.
Now, when I say true friends, we've never, not one time, even as women, never got into an argument, disagreement, fight.
And we-
never
and we
stopped
tell one
being
another
friends.
truth, and we tell one another truth.
And then I can receive the truth whether I care for it or not. Now I can say when I was in a relationship, when I was married, there's been times where I'm already on the defensive before you get it out your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not that I meant to, but hindsight is like I'm already on the defensive. And I've had, the person I'm laying next to every day, we can have arguments and disagreements, but the person that I can tell everything to that can probably is harder on me than him, right? Never, I received it. So that's why I say friendship is knowing that the person that cares for you is saying it out of love and care, not spite or hateful or
Right, because we were kind of talking about that earlier in the week, and really talking about, you have to be able to have the hard conversations because having the hard conversations are what generates those friendships, right?
And
because
yes,
yeah,
and-
so that's required.
and not and I told your sister and her husband this a few days ago because see I finally figured it out because I had to figure it out because I teach healthy relationships to children,
Right.
and I finally figured it out. The wars start mainly because I don't want to hear what you got to say. So I take it personal. And then you talking about being on the offense. Once you become offended, it becomes a sports contest. Whenever
Right.
two people are communicating, once a person becomes offense, the other becomes defense.
Right.
I'm not saying it was right, but I mean just
no,
self-reflection is like,
Right.
You know?
But for in order for men and women to coexist, in order for a relationship, even if it's like me and Bass, you know what I'm saying? In order for us to coexist as men, I can't, I expect Bass to tell me the truth. It's like you expect Kimmy to tell you the truth. I can't take it personal if he
Right.
tells me the truth.
Right.
Because if I do, then I'm no longer listening what he has to say.
Correct.
And it is easy, it seems to be easy for us as men and women to take personal what our mate has to say,
Right.
rather
You
than
can't
rather
do
than
that,
being
yeah.
patient
And
and
hear
and,
them
and,
through.
hearing
Receiving it and receiving
Yeah,
it.
and
That's
receiving
okay.
it.
They gotta love me, so they gotta be telling me what they think is best, And I think that's the mindset that I want to go into any other relationship I get in. If I'm with this person, they care about me enough to tell, excuse my French, but to check your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love
At the
love
door.
my boys, but I love them enough, and I tell them this all the time. You might not like what I say, but I
Right.
love you enough to check you on your shit, right?
Right, yeah.
Because one thing you can't do is fire me.
There you go. That's true. That's true.
You can't
'Cause
fire me.
I-
You can't
yeah,
fire me.
right,
So you-
right.
And the pastor said years ago, he said, if you, we said this everything. He says, if you know without a shot, if you know, first of all, when you wake up every day, you figure out at a minimum, what is one thing I can do for my spouse to put a smile on their face today? One thing. That's at a minimum. What is one thing I'm gonna wake up today and do? The second is when you know they're not going nowhere, you can be honest, open, and free to speak and be who
Right.
you are.
Right.
No matter what happens, they're gonna be in the house in the same four walls the next day. May not
Right.
be the same bed. I don't know
Yeah.
what people's things are. May not be the
Right.
same bed, but they're being in
Right.
these four walls, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
know.
that's kind of how I want. I think we should have our relationships go, and I guess I would say too, how did our grandparents, how did they survive these 20, 30, 40-year marriages
Yeah.
when some of us can't survive 2 months,
minutes.
6 months,
2 weeks.
right?
Yeah.
How did they do that?
But it's
So,
not
yeah.
taking stuff personal,
Right. Well, and probably, not taking it personal, but realizing and understanding, and I'm just, definition is I saw so many different levels, but what love really is. Like, I really need to love this person that I'm with because it has to go beyond like. Because I may not like you
Every day, right?
every day. I may
Yeah.
not like what you're doing. I may not, like what you did. But if I love you, then the like doesn't matter.
Do you think
Well,
love
I
is
think-
enough to keep a relationship?
Yeah, or understand, and
Right,
and the
right.
other thing is let's talk about that icing for a minute, because both sexes use sex as a weapon, and if I wake up in the morning, if you and I are husband and wife, and if I wake up in the morning, and I don't not necessarily need to have sex with you that morning, but if I don't desire you, if I see you and I don't desire you, then the enemy is the reason that I don't desire you.
And
You
you
know
told
what I'm
me
saying?
no.
But I'm just saying,
I'm
if
like,
I
what's wrong
don't,
with you?
if I don't,
Right, but
I'm
right,
just saying, if I
yeah,
don't,
yeah, yeah.
there's an intangible reason that
You'll
I
hear-
I
don't.
think
You'll
a woman
hear-
would think different. I
And-
mean,
and
if you
we
say
need to
no,
do-
it'd be like, okay, who you with? What you doing?
That's
Why?
exactly where
What's
I was
wrong
going.
with you?
That's exactly where I was going. Yeah, when you went to the grocery store, when you went to the gym, when you went to work,
Our mind goes somewhere else beyond, I'm just tired this morning.
Exactly, right, exactly, yeah.
So I need to ask a question, Bass, and Bass, I need you to chime in. But are you saying that if I don't want to have sex with you, that I can't be innocent? There's no innocence in me not wanting
I'm
to have
sure
sex with
after
you.
the whole list of me going through the list,
all the reasons why.
Wait,
you take out the things that are not plausible.
Wait, man, she needs to borrow your bullshit button.
You take out all the things that are not plausible.
and everything checked out, then it must be he just tired.
But
But if everything checks out, but
I'm teasing. No,
no, you're not teasing.
No, you're not.
I mean, in the middle way.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, I think it depends on that relationship. Y'all, how well do you know each other, right?
Right, yeah.
It's the connection and energy that y'all have together.
Yeah, because if you don't
Yeah.
feel like it, then when you feel like it, you spent. And I'm just teasing. No, we gotta do some investigation.
No, but I think, but to be completely honest, I think the first thing, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and we are connected energy-wise and everything, I think my first thought would be, honestly, maybe there's something wrong. Not on my end. I'm thinking health-wise, seriously. Like, are you okay? Because that's probably what I would say first. Well, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. That sounds so vain, but I'm just not meaning to be that way.
You need some water. You dehydrated. No, Bass, what you got?
Well, I don't do color purple pussy myself, so
Well, wait.
so we if it's 4:30 for me and that's my get up time, we need to get up. So it's all up. I think it's a means of communication.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the older I get, my get up ain't like it used to get up. So I got to use other methods if that's what she needs to get up. So I know we have to. If
Balance
it's your
it.
partner, you have to be balanced. And,
Right.
And when we lose wanting to be pleased, but more concerned about pleasing our mate.
That's a good one too.
That's when I think it works best for me. I want her to get hers. If I get mine and she didn't get hers, I cheated.
Well,
Right.
But I think that has to do with the way that you feel about that person too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because see, I met people, a lot of people. There's some people who entice you to want to do things, not just intimacy. You want to do those things.
Right.
You want to go out. You want to go to the park. You want to do something
Yeah,
for their
yeah,
birthday. You
yeah.
want to pass by something. And say, I'm gonna
it
get the
doesn't
shirt
seem
for
like a
him, or do this.
chore. It's something it's not a
want
chore.
to
You
do.
want to do it.
And then there's some times where you just feel like you supposed to. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my thing is, everybody should want to be in the space where they're at with the person that they're with. Because if you're not, you're wasting their time and your time.
Right.
And that's when you become unhappy. And I think that's when things don't align right. That's when little arguments, and I'm not saying things little because it depends on the person, but little arguments become bigger than they probably should be.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you already have the up face like,
That's what I'm saying. Whatever is keeping me from being at peace with you, from desiring you, whatever that is, let's deal with that, because that's the enemy. I'm not the enemy. You're not the enemy.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? And I think that we let situations and circumstances turn us into enemies when we are not really the enemy. The
Right.
enemy is the situation or the circumstance that we're not dealing with.
or not
Right.
communicating. Like
Yeah.
you say, not communicating in a way that's conducive for your spouse. Communication is not the same for everybody.
Right.
So I'm a 24. If I'm in, like I have this thing is, if my feelings are hurt, I may have a hard time having a conversation because it's my feelings. I have a hard time expressing that sometimes, right? Now, if I'm upset and I'm mad, we can go toe for toe. We good,
Right.
But if I'm pissed off, it's almost like, let me get 24 hours. Let me pull my words and my thoughts together because
Right.
I'm going, whatever I say right now may not be very nice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I've learned to learn myself, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I've learned to learn myself. And if I care for somebody, I don't want to intentionally hurt them.
Right,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Regardless if I'm upset or not.
So,
I think that and I think we're gonna do a male thing here for just a minute, but I think that I was about to be sexist, but I know that when I was young, if we were having a conversation and the other person wanted to end the conversation, but the subject hadn't been discussed, that I wanted to press discussing the subject. But as we've gotten older, I think that women press the issue to have conversations that men need to process. We need to back up and process things. And you said that a minute ago. I need to back up and take 24 hours and
but that was established. Like I feel like when we conflict resolution when you're 20s was, I've stabbed out a tire before. I'm gonna admit, my conflict resolution was reaction, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't to sit back and take time to gather my thoughts. Give me 24 hours. But normally in your 20s, that's not there. That's something
Right.
that we learn as we go along the
Right.
way, right? Emotional maturity,
Absolutely.
So how you handle something in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s is different. You know what I mean? So, in my 50s, whatever I feel, I'm going to say it. That's just where I'm at,
Yeah.
But in my 20s,
But
I
it's the
probably
way you can
wasn't.
come across too, and it depends on your spouse, because like I'm a communicator, conversation communicator, and I'm very verbal with what I like and what I don't like. Now I haven't always been that way because I used to be very timid, and I didn't want to argue, and because let me be clear. Argument is not when people disagree, because a lot of people
Right.
say you're arguing just because I don't agree. I don't think it's an argument.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right,
But a lot
yeah.
of people think that if you don't agree with me, it's an argument. But
It's a
but I used to be
discussion.
quiet, and I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. It's gonna rock the boat. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna look at me this way. I used to be very, very different than I am now, but I'm very verbal now. But I feel like it's only fair for me to let you know how I feel, because you don't automatically know.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was in a relationship. I thought he should know. He should be like, well, what's wrong with you? I feel your energy's off. No, it wouldn't be nothing. And be like, you didn't know I was mad? No. And not intentionally,
You
but
weren't wearing your "I am mad" sign.
right. But I'm saying we can't. To be fair, we can't assume
Somebody's
somebody
missing.
else knows how we feel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
You know, just to be verbal.
Yeah. I thought you might have had a comment there. You weren't reaching for your BS button, but I thought you might have had
Yeah, like how,
have to order one, right?
Yeah, Well, what is the conflict resolution like for the men? 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s.
Well,
Yeah, what is the best way to do that?
I agree with you. In my 20s, and you knew me in my 20s.
yeah, rah 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 rah.
Yeah,
There's the
but,
rah rah.
I agree that I think that in my 20s, being right was more important than doing right.
That's a good one. I'm gonna have to post that one.
I think that.
Say that one more time so the people in the back
Yeah,
can hear you.
I think that in my 20s, me being right was more important than me doing right.
Wow.
And I see that we've lost the Facebook family. I'm sorry.
No,
but,
it's the Amber Alert. You want to hit the
it's an
OK
Amber Alert.
button?
Can you kill that for me, Kim? But as I've gotten older, I've realized, that in fact that was to me Spike Lee's best movie, Do the Right Thing. I realized that doing the right thing is paramount to me being
I
right.
have to have a movie night, right?
And yeah,
Doing the right
yeah.
thing. I ain't seen
Yeah,
that
we
in
have to
so
have a movie
long.
night.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen that in years.
But I've because ego is at one time my ego was important to me, but I'm gonna borrow a line from Black Dynamite. These two pimps were talking, and one told the other, said, "It's not ego, it's how we go." And said that's what it should
Now, Papa
be.
be on it, don't he?
It's,
be on it.
It's
I'm trying to remember all these I want to post.
well, like I said, I got it from somewhere, so have at it. But I mean, it's about how we go. And as I've gotten older, I realized that in order to be a king, I have to the kingdom has to allow me to be the king. I can't force anybody to let me be the king. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to learn that even if I think I'm right, there are depending upon the topic and the context, there are varying degrees of right. And is it important enough for me to be right in my head as opposed to the to our family
Right.
feeling like we're right, and so
I mean, sometimes I think in a relation, it doesn't matter in relationship or not. You don't have to be right. We just have to have conflict resolution. Because
Exactly.
one thing I don't care for is to have a conversation. Because again, I'm a conversation. I've learned to let's talk, and I'll try to find the perfect time because sometimes it's not right now. You know what I mean? So I don't want to have this conversation. I mean, we may have this conversation again, and I'm okay with that. But let's talk about this. How is it that I made you feel? What made you feel that way? So let's see what we can do the next time. Let's talk about that. Maybe there's not something you can do differently. Maybe it is just you. Because I've had that. Well, you this, and I'm like, okay. Well, let me know what could I have done different, and that's a good question. And if you can't tell me what I could have done different, then you just on yourself.
Right, the
You're
issue
feeling
is
on
still
yourself.
you.
It's all
Right.
about you. So what about you, Bass? How do you? What is your conflict resolution? And or do you have that perfect life and there's no issues?
He dates the model with
I
the
know,
Corvette.
yeah, he has no
Not
just
exactly.
perfect.
No. I think
He has more than 1.6 kids.
8.2 credit score.
because I think I've gotten mature, and if I'm with a person that I care about, my conflict resolution today, honestly, is saying okay, because to me, it's not worth the. You can't argue with someone who's always right,
Right.
That is true.
and so I'm not going to argue with you because we're grown, and I'm probably not going to change how you feel about the situation. So what we going to do?
Right. Resolution, conflict resolution.
And
Right.
and the other thing I believe relationships could benefit from, and I've always thought it had been an issue, is that I wish when people ask questions, they prepared themselves for all possible answers, not just the one we want.
That's good.
And that's what hurts us, like, because we always say we want somebody to be honest with us. Tell me
Yeah.
what you really feel. Tell me what you really think.
Everybody don't really want that.
Well,
though.
no, they don't.
Everybody don't really want that.
They don't.
that sounds good.
And if I could women bash for 30 seconds, because I'm not really bashing.
Not the
them.
women in this room,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
can bash
no,
them out
yeah.
there.
But I'm just saying that it has been my experience in my relationships, not ones I've read about, in my relationships, most of the time that when I was dealing with my mate, the female, that if she was uncomfortable about something, she would work it around in her head and come to a conclusion, and then come to me with the conversation, expecting me to respond in a way that matched the conclusion that she had come to. You know what I'm saying? And when I didn't come to the conclusion, because I didn't have the information, I didn't have the data. You know, so when I didn't come to the conclusion that, because she had been working this in her head for anywhere from a few hours to maybe a few days.
How better could she come to you? That would be conducive to where y'all both get.
Well,
and I can't say a win-win.
Come to me with you know, if the book is the issue, then let's open it to a page that don't have no writing on it.
Okay.
Well, and
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but even with that, you know, it just goes back to, timing. And I tease, it has to be the right habitat. Like, I mean, like, is it, if you're at the grocery store and something do you have that conversation at the grocery store? Do you wait till later, or so I think that's part of it.
I would agree.
You have to be in the right.
Yeah.
It has to be at the right place, the right time. So, Bass, going back to what you're saying about as far as the, you can't deal with someone who's always right, or, you're not going to, but
You said argue with. Yeah,
argue
you
with
can't
someone,
argue with
someone who's always right. What about, the common grounds? Like, what does the common grounds look like for the men out there? Is it what is the happy place or the joyous place? Because you're not always going to be happy. So what's the joyous place, do you think, for the men out there?
Well, I think the happy place is that, most women, whether they accept it or not, if they had any type of relationship with their dad, you learn a lot from a woman if you look and listen to her dad.
Yeah.
Or whoever the most influential male figure was for her. But I feel, because I have daughters, that they want to be led. But you can't follow if the dude can't lead.
That's the thing.
And so that's the issue that they're going to have.
Right.
They're looking for their dad. They're looking to be led. And somebody has had this little boy titty in their mouth, and I'm baby fed him, and he's not prepared to lead, but he's at the age to be a leader.
Right.
Right.
But
And so she's mature and she's ready. So we're going to continue to have that.
The imbalance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's going to catch up.
Well, I mean, I know you said if her father was in life, and I would agree with everything you said, but I would say even if not, and I always go back to me, because I've established, or I've learned, like, so I do self-evaluation, that I know when it's somebody I'm interested in, right? There's certain things I need and certain things I want, which are not the same things, right? The thing that I do need, because my father did not raise me, my father was not actively in my life. I really never had that. I've had a consistent male in my life that I looked up as a father figure, but he was not my father.
Got it.
But I do know when I do look at a spouse or somebody that's a potential for me, that's important that he can lead me. Because a lot of men, will come and say, well, I'm the man and you don't, Well, I say, well, listen here. God made me a pretty smart person. If you're going to jump off that mountain, I'm not going to follow you. I'm just not. I'm just not. But a lot of times, like I told someone, when the lion's in the jungle, the lion doesn't wear a sign that says, I'm the king of the jungle. He doesn't put out newsletters. He doesn't knock on doors. He doesn't give out, postcards. His actions show who he is, and people follow. Right. And I found that with me, when when things have worked well for me, it wasn't even a conversation. Before I knew it, that's just what it was. I'm very, very verbal in saying, I do want a leader. I do want somebody to lead and guide and protect and provide.
Right.
I do want somebody to pray for me, to pray over me and pray with me. I want to learn from somebody. And a lot of men are giving out these fake news.
But you said something so important. I know we have to wrap it up and go, but I'm just taking this, and this will be a later conversation. But you said you've had male figures in your life that you could look up to, but that was not your father, and so we have a lot of single parent households. So it definitely does go back to maybe that woman is not really saying I need a man in my life because I didn't grow up with one that was was my father. You know what I mean? So maybe again that could be something else that's there. That's a deeper rooted
Something-
issue
absolutely.
to where and I'm not picking, but I just
but you
heard
want those
yeah,
things, but that physical person, you don't know.
But if you didn't
Absolutely.
have it, not to say you didn't have it, but you didn't have it from the person you thought you should have had it from, then it's just not as important, that interaction. And that could go on into other relationships, right?
Yeah.
That's a good thought.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
but I know we have to wrap it up because
We do,
it's-
but I do want to piggyback off of what you said and tell men really, really quickly that there's a difference in being the head of a house and being a boss. No man is a boss.
I don't
God,
know.
God
But men
did-
don't call themselves bosses, do they? Though?
God
Have you
didn't
ever
build
heard?
men to be the boss. If you are the head of your house, you are guiding and directing your family. That's the
Yeah,
role
you're the
that God
captain
gave
and
man.
shit.
And I had a pastor that say, if you are a leader and you turn around and ain't nobody there, you just taking a walk.
That's right.
Wow.
So-
That's
so-
why you 3 for 3 tonight. Listen.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So I do want to put some of
Lead.
this gender wars on the men. I do believe that if we lead, that our women
We
will
will
follow.
follow.
Yeah.
I do believe that. I don't know. We may have
Away
to do
we
it one
go.
time at
Not off
in a
a cliff,
future
though.
date. But thank you all. Thank you, Facebook family. Thank you, TikTok family, for hanging out with us. Thank
Yes.
you, Kim, for clearing my screen. Thank you for Taylor for turning the knobs. Bass, thank you for doing this. Kimmy, thank you for doing this.
Yes,
Thank
thank y'all.
Charlie, thank
Yeah,
you for,
yes.
for just. Do you think my daughter's like me?
I really can't say.
No.
I've known her too long because everybody
Right.
thinks that we're like.
Yeah. This is your other daddy. This is your daddy.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
So I really couldn't say, but I think that
Oh, darn.
the comment "I love you"
Right.
just the same.
thought I was
Makes
like
me a
that.
great person.
And when we get off here,
Who's my daddy?
That's your zaddy.
My daddy.
and when
No,
we
you
get
just
off
learned a
here,
new term
I gotta
tonight. You
find
gotta-
out. And when we get off here, I gotta find out about some of these women they've been talking about because I'm still in the market.
But y'all,
you know?
but
But I digress.
but as we always say, love yourself,
Yes.
right?
Well,
So you can love somebody else.
We will be
please.
back next week. Same facts time, same facts channel. We thank y'all for hanging out with us. We thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And again, we will be back next week. And until then, just love yourself and take care. We're out of here.
See you later. See you later.
Hey, this is Charlie,
This is JR.
host of Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. Broadcasting live each week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. from